Hello, folks. I hope you are having just an absolutely amazing day today, one of the best in your life. Today for my Video Game Wednesday last week for the 12th anniversary of Don't Starve, literally. I did Don't Starve, so let's do the standalone expansion today, Don't Starve Together. And that sort of thing. All right, let's get started. So this was published on PC on April 21st, 2016 by Klei Entertainment. It's a multiplayer, like I mentioned earlier, standalone expansion of the base game of Don't Starve proper with its own rules. It's got 6 unique characters and that sort of thing. I've put around 70 hours into it. It costs on Steam right now very cheap, $15. You can buy one copy for you and get another one for your friend. I'll link it to you in the comments below. You can have up to 6 folks at a time, and then your own rules too, like becoming a ghost and getting revived at a posture and that sort of thing. Rather than just the previous one, it was more roguelike, permadeath, unless something had happened. I have hosted this bunch's publicly level odds. It does have free updates that you don't have to spend money for, although you can buy skins for folks and new DLC. There's the occasional DLC character that you can pick up for a few bucks here and there, and that sort of a thing. So, you know, good stuff. It's got its own stuff too, in addition to like Don't Starve, like the carrots and such, which are carrots and rats combo. Alrighty. It also has all of its own features of Don't Starve 2 seasons to stay alive in with heat or dampness meters, and that sort of thing you'll need to take care of. And then the cold of winter, or as well as needing to find food, right, and get it over and over again, like berry bushes and outside of winter, or rabbit traps, then or farms too that you can build. So you'll need to keep tools, harvest woods, stone, and grass and sticks, and then use those and others to make the right materials to make traps, hanging meat in order to make jerky and keep alive longer, and then sort of thing, as well as the sanity and health too that you got to keep track of, as well as hunger too. Fighting here is much harder than in the previous Don't Starve because of many of them are more powerful, have hit points and that sort of thing, and have leveled up. Because again, you're going to be Don't Starving together. Because it's right. So I would rather just sit down and just play Don't Starve and solo mode. Makes sense. So it's a nice and cheap diversion, but it lacks some of the details and depth. And the first one had. So I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. Whereas I gave the first one for a 10 out of 10 for you folks. Alright, but that's Don't Starve Together by Klei from April 21st, 2016. An 8 and 9 out of 10 for you folks. Have you played it? Don't Starve Together? If so, what did you think about it? Let's talk about it in the comments below, whatever your thoughts are, and whether or not you agree or disagree with my thoughts too. I'm happy to talk with you further. I did not get this for free. I had to pay for it, although it's pretty cheap. And you get 2 copies. So that's good stuff. But, you know, I also don't particularly play professionally. I'm just a fan of video games and that sort of thing. Yeah, like I mentioned earlier, on Video Game Wednesday, I like to do reviews of older video games like Don't Starve 12 Years. I also did, you know, Star Control 2 or Heroes of Might and Magic 3 from the 90s. I was in Wasteland, the original one. I also recently did Crusader Kings 3 from 2020, 5 years ago, and that sort of stuff. I sometimes will do something more current if I've just started playing it. I started playing a 2 Point Museum, and I put about 80 hours into it roughly. So I did a review of that a week or 2 afterwards. I also did my review of Planet Coaster 2 by Frontier. So if you look at the records, I put a couple weeks into that just as soon as it did come out. But otherwise, I like to typically go back and find these older video games. On Saturday, I have something called this, so check those out. And then on Saturday, I do something called the Serials for Serial Saturday. That it's all about the forgotten movie telling and storytelling genres back in the older eras. I did the movie from 35, Tarzan's, The New Adventures of Tarzan in 35. It's the last serial. And Tarzan, I just finished watching the second from the 1929 one, 6 years earlier. It's a silent serial, also starring Tarzan, a little longer, and that sort of thing. It's called Tarzan the Tiger, so those will be up. So if you like his older things, check this out on Friday. I do top 10s. I just recently did my top 10 musical albums and artists this week. I think I'm going to do top 10. comics and such. And so those comic lines for your folks. And then next, on Monday, I do older reviews of RPGs or war games too, like Dungeons and Dragons or that sort of things. So I just did a S1 in Search of the Unknown, B1 in Search of the Unknown by 78. But I did the 7 episodes by David Gygax's series that won the best module of all time. I started with G1 against the Giants and that sort of thing. So if you like these older things, check this out, dude. And then I do 3 reviews a week of these older things too. In science fiction, fantasy, and horror that you read, and that sort of thing. Now, this is play, but you get the idea. In the science fiction, fantasy, and horror genres, so if all those older things sound like your cup of tea, then you're definitely going to want to check out my channel. Do all the YouTube stuff. Hit the subscribe button, the share button, the bell icon, but to share and watch the stuff, and hit like buttons too. All of that YouTube stuff, and then comment. Let me know what your thoughts are, and that sort of thing. But share and watch, those are the key ways to grow on this channel. Alrighty, and so there y'all are. If you like all this older stuff, that's passion of the channel too, it's also where its title comes from as well. The worst thing about new books. That's a quote by a French philosopher named Jacques Joubert, who said that the worst thing about them was that they kept us from reading the old ones. Right? There's definitely more stuff we might have forgot about. And a passion for the new video games in this case, the new novel, the new movie. We have forgotten the better older stuff. Not that they're bad, right? But they're built on the shoulders of giants. So let's read those giants, right? Their influences and that sort of a thing. So check them out. Alrighty, and there you are. I want to thank you so very, very much for taking just some time out of your day and investing it, right, and watching my videos, because we all have so many things, right, that are happening in our lives, and we're pulled in so many different directions. So the fact that you spend this time with me, that's incredibly humbling. So I appreciate it so very, very much. So thanks again, and have an amazing day.